Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to be calling Less Loved. And the whole objective and reason of this series is to show those exotics that people don't necessarily choose, people think suck, they just never use them if they want to do good in a game, to highlight those exotics and make them feel loved. Give them the love that they deserve. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to show you guys how I like to use that exotic, which setup I like to use with it. I'm also going to show you guys gameplay of me using that exotic and really showcasing what it can do. So even if people don't show these exotics love, they can get some love from us just for one video, for one day, and really show that they can hold their own on the battlefield. I also thought that this would be just really awesome for us to use different exotics. I think a lot of us pick up an exotic that maybe needs a little bit more upgrading before it actually gets good, and we kind of just forget about it and think, this weapon sucks, and we never go back to it. So maybe we'll find a diamond in the rough that is actually a decent exotic that nobody uses, and we'll start a new meta. We will change the game. We will change the face of Destiny. So to kick this new series off, I'm going to be starting with Hard Light. And the reason I'm starting with Hard Light is not because it's the worst exotic in the game. I'm starting off with Hard Light because it was my first ever exotic, and I haven't used it since I made a video on it being my first exotic. So it's been a super long time. So let's first start off by taking a look at how I like to use Hard Light. So I choose the third scope, which is aggressive ballistics. What this enables Hard Light to actually have is the highest impact that it can possibly have, with a little bit of penalty to range and a little bit of a penalty to stability. But the range is fine for an auto rifle when it's at this point, and the impact, you need impact. You don't want to have literally no impact. It's just not good. And of course, in the second tree, I choose fitted stock because the main issue with Hard Light when you first get it is its lack of stability. So what I find with choosing these two things, this scope and fitted stock, is that you have a good amount of stability to where it makes the gun able to be handled and you can actually kill people, and it enables you to have the highest impact that you can possibly get without sacrificing too much range. So that's how I like to use it. Let's kick off the gameplay and show how awesome Hard Light can be. So seeing as this series is called Less Loved, we're not going to be talking about the negatives of these weapons. We're going to be highlighting what is good about them. So what is good about Hard Light? In my opinion, Hard Light is actually a pretty good auto rifle. I wrote it off super early when I got it. I upgraded it fully because I really wanted to stick with it, especially as it being my first ever exotic. But then I was just like, man, why would I choose it over other exotics, you know? But since I was planning this video and using it a lot to try and form a well-rounded opinion of Hard Light in the current state of Destiny, because of course there were nerfs, there were buffs and stuff like that, so I wanted to form a well-rounded opinion of Hard Light in the current state of Destiny. And I actually really enjoyed using it. I was using other super high rate of fire and low impact auto rifles, and I think that Hard Light actually does more damage. From what I've seen, most super high fire rate auto rifles tend to do 20 damage headshots, whereas Hard Light was doing 22. And it may not seem like a huge difference, but that little 2 points of damage is going to make a difference when you're shooting that fast. It stacks up very quickly. So I was finding that I was downing people a lot faster with Hard Light than any of the other super fast firing auto rifles. Another positive of Hard Light is how it does in prolonged gunfights, because of the perk that the bottom half of each magazine causes additional damage. Now what this enables Hard Light to do is, if you are in a gunfight with 2 or 3 people and you're ducking in and out of cover, you're ducking and you're diving and you're weaving and you're squatting, I don't know why you're squatting, although crouching is kind of squatting. If you're in a prolonged gunfight against that amount of people, when you get to 20 bullets, those extra 20 bullets are going to be doing like a lot more damage, like tons more damage than the first ones. So Hard Light has 40 naturally in the mag, which is actually a decent amount. Even though it shoots super fast, it's a decent amount of bullets for it to have. You can increase that if you so wish to, but I don't think you need to, because the bottom half of each magazine causes additional damage. So what you'll find is you can usually drop one of those people with the first part of your magazine, and then when you get to the second half of your magazine, you'll find that you're doing a lot more damage, and you can drop those other guys too. So in prolonged gunfights, Hardlight is going to be able to reign victorious over other weapons because it does more damage and it's shooting a lot faster than the weapons that it's going up against. And during my time with Hardlight, I did have the opportunity to go toe-to-toe, gun-to-gun, man to man, not a man, but whatever, with people using the power weapons, or what I like to call the power weapons, which are the Mythoclast, Hawkmoon, The Last Word, Thorn, and Suros Regime. I got to go head-to-head in actual, like, 1v1 gunfights, no grenades being used, no supers, no other people helping out, and I was able to outgun them a lot easier than I initially thought. Like, a lot easier. When I first decided to make this series and have Hardlight be the first gun in this series, I know that Hardlight is not the worst gun in the world, but I just remember using it and Hardlight making my life more difficult. I was, no, please just kill things, Hardlight, do it. I know you can do it. Choo-choo, you're the train that can. You can do it. And although Hardlight does get a lot of assists sometimes, which by the way is not a negative thing because there is a Crucible bounty to get assists, okay? That's a thing, so it's actually a good thing sometimes. It can actually go toe-to-toe with the power weapons, and you're able to outgun them a lot easier than I initially thought. So I was pleasantly surprised, Hardlight. You surprised me, and I will actually use, genuinely, I'm not just saying this because we're supposed to be showing love to guns here, I will use Hardlight from time to time when I want to switch things up and be confident that I'm going to be able to take people down. So I hope you enjoyed this video praising Hardlight. Thank you, Base Hardlight, for you can sometimes do good things. Please let me know in the comment section which exotic you want me to use next time. If I have it, I will do it. If I don't have it, I'll do it later. Okay guys, I'll speak to you later. Bye!